gentlemen, the essence of us being here is making a change. I ask each and every one of you, normally our numbers are beyond 100. We are forward thinkers. We are fit for purpose. We are here to make a change. I encourage you to indulge. I encourage you to get involved in this. We have to understand that these youths, as many of our forward thinkers stated, are in need of us. We have to understand the essence of vulnerability. But before I go any further, we also have to understand vision loss. So it gives me the greatest pleasure to introduce, when my son got killed, was taken away from me, this lady spent nights on the phone with me. She said, we need to create a program, we need to find a strategy, we need to do something to support these youths. We normally stick to our roles on this program, but today we're going to make an exception and give Cheryl an opportunity to speak, which indeed Cheryl has been going through so much, so I must say I'm honored that she decided to join us. And after that, even we will go into the questions and answers. And ladies and gentlemen, I see Brian Kelly on here, and I see some organizations. Juliet, we do acknowledge you, and so many other organizations. I applaud you. Please contact one of these speakers. Internationally, nationally, they will work with you. Do not hesitate. We call them forward thinkers for a reason.
43. I am now an international speaker, a business consultant, and the CEO of Vision Navigation Consulting. Today, I hope you're hungry because I'm serving up brain. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the Vision Loss Boss doing serving up the brain? Well, if you're not aware, they are very closely connected. But the part of the brain that I'm serving today deals with your mental strength, your confidence, your emotions. So just a little bit of insight so that you can understand where we're going to go on this journey today. Imagine getting up one day and everything seems fine in the world. You put your children on the bus, you walk the dog, you lock the house, and you're heading to work. And everything seems fine. The sun is shining, the music is playing, the news is good that day. And as you walk into your place of business, within moments of arriving, something is wrong, something is terribly wrong. And you realize after some moments of mental struggle, that you've just lost your vision. No warning, no insight, no pain. Your life in that moment stops on a dime. The balls that you have been juggling, ever so well, mind you, all drop to the ground. And you're unable to pick up not even one. This can happen to many of us as our life changes. Many of us go through all types of transformations in our life. I had 2 young children at the time. I had recently transitioned from a marriage. And now here we are, looking toward surgery. Never thought in my wildest dreams that this is the turn my life would take. Multiple surgeries, repairs were done, sight did not come back. So what do? I was devastated, to say the least. devastated, thinking of what I was going to do, how I was going to continue to move forward, because I did it all. I was one of those independent women who did it all. When I say I had those balls in the air just going without missing a beat, that was me. That was me. And now here I am without a job, no longer drive, two young children, and a dog to continue on with. What do you do? How does that affect you mentally? I'm going to tell you. There were bouts with depression. There were many tear-filled days and nights. And the stress was just overwhelming. How am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to manage things, let alone take care of these two young children? They're looking at me, they're watching, they're wondering what I'm going to do. And I'm sure somewhere in their little young minds, they're trying to figure out, if something's wrong with mommy, what's going to happen to us?
Rochelle, that was so amazing. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm so excited to be here. So grateful. And what I want to do is I want to ask everybody, raise your hands if you want to play full out right now. Raise your hands if you're ready to play full out. Everybody's ready to play full out? All right, let's play. Let's do it. Here we go. All right, we're going to do something called brain games. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your hands out like this. Put your hands out like this. I want you to go like this. Excellent, excellent. You're all doing amazing. Perfect. All right, stop. All right, and I'm glad you did amazing because that's a 3-year-old brain game. All right, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. Put your finger out like this with your thumb like this. And then I want you to put your thumb up like this. And then on the count of 3, I want you to switch. You ready? 1, 2, 3, and switch. 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 I see you guys. I see you. Like, you're doing good. Excellent, excellent. All right, stop. I know that was a little difficult. I want you to put your hand on your shoulder. I want you to put on your elbow. And then on the count of 3, I want you to switch. 1, 2, 3, and switch. 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 We're back to the comfort zone. I don't want to do anything hard. I want my comfort zone. All right, excellent, excellent. Last one. Put your hand on your ear, and then on your nose. And then on the count of 3, I want you to switch. 1, 2, 3, and switch. And switch. I see some of you are like, wait. What am I doing? Switch. Excellent, excellent. All right, cool. Thank you all for being so willing to participate. I appreciate you for that. So the reason why I had you do this was I wanted you to connect some parts of your brain that maybe you haven't connected in maybe a week, a month, maybe years. And so I remember that for me, I wasn't connecting a lot of my brain back in the day. So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. Before I was doing motivational speaking and coaching, I was working at a job that I hated. I was struggling in life. I felt like I wasn't worthy. You know, I only had a high school diploma, and I would compare myself to family, friends who were doctors, surgeons, lawyers, you know, that were certain of what they wanted to do with their lives. And me, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was bored. I was depressed. I was feeling anxious. And in order for me to deal with my depression, I was drinking alcohol. I was taking pills while I was drinking alcohol. I was doing hard drugs like cocaine. At one point, I almost overdosed on cocaine. It was a really scary experience in my life. I was gambling. I was also, whenever I was feeling down, I would turn to foods to make me feel better. So whenever I was feeling down, I would go eat. You know, I don't know if this ever happened to you. You know, you eat a bowl of food, and then you grab a second bowl, and then a third, and then later on you grab some snacks, and then an hour later you gain some Fruit Loops. You know, and it's like that was me. I was binge eating to deal with my sadness, and now I was weighing 265 pounds, and I was even more depressed because of my physique. And I was telling myself, like, there's got to be something more to this life than what I do right now. I would tell myself, I know that there's more for me. but I just didn't know what to do because I didn't have clarity on what it is that I wanted to do with my future, what it is that I wanted to do with my life. And so for me, I struggled for many years. And I remember one time listening to a great motivational speaker by the name of Les Brown that inspired me. He said, many people will leave the universe without a trace, and under their name you can put not used up. And I said, damn, that's me. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was lost. And I would tell myself, I got to do something. So then I started listening to audiobooks, reading books, listening to more motivational audios. And that inspired me to do something that I've been wanting to do since I was 12 years old, which was stand-up comedy. So, I mean, quite the trace that I wanted to leave behind, right? You know, stand-up comedian. So I did stand-up comedy, and I'll be honest, I wasn't very good. Some people will be like, man, you really suck. Like, you're a terrible comedian. And yeah, I was terrible. You could hear the crickets in the audience. People would be looking at me like, no, like really? I don't think so. And so somebody told me, you gotta get better at as a comedian. Join a club called Toastmasters. So I joined Toastmasters. I learned how to do some public speaking, and I fell in love with public speaking. I said, you know what? I want to do motivational speaking instead. So I then started doing motivational speaking, and now I've been blessed to have spoken to thousands of youth. I talk about depression, anxiety, and I remember this one particular time when I spoke at a school, and a young girl, after telling my story, she came up to me and she said, "Mister, I want to talk to you. Like, that was so amazing. Like, right now, I've been to 8 psychiatric homes, 5 different foster homes. My family's in Michigan, and I was gonna kill myself tomorrow." And that moment was so powerful for me. I was like, whoa. And then she told me, but now that I heard your story, I don't feel alone. And I want to talk to somebody. So that day we took her to the counselor. And that was the day that, like Mark Twain said, the two most important days in your life are the day that you were born and the day you found out why. That was the day that I found out why I was put on this earth.
Wanted us to be a unit because I didn't have that. But guess what? My intention, role as a mother, I was committed, and I was there like, yes, this is it. So what do I need to do? And I became a solution-oriented mother, wife. I don't know about the woman bit yet. I wasn't sure about that. But on those two roles, I'm ready. I'm a superwoman. I can handle anything and I can take anything. Whatever you bring my way, yes, let's take it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. That was my attitude. But what happened is that my husband at the time, all he comes to me with negative. Everything he says no, I say yes. Let's make it happen. Come on, I'm gonna show you. because this is the way to do it. And then we getting on like choke and what's the other one? It didn't work. Okay, everything is like this person says yes, this person says no, but we're still getting on because what is important? Family unit for me. And with him, we sit down one day. I love watching movies. He will complain, you're watching too much TV. He will take it out to the sky. And okay, fine. Remember, I'm the kind of person who always think about what I need to do. How can I resolve this? Started reading books. Oh, you're reading too much books. It's not good for you. You know what you're doing is not nice. Okay, he puts back the sky. Okay, go back to the sky. Watch the sky. What happened is that I was doing the best I can, but my biggest thing or my biggest attention was my children and my husband. That was my life. When they were young, I was a housewife until they started full-time school. After they started full-time school, I became the kind of mother, okay, my husband complains all the time, I have to work. Okay, fine, I went and started working part-time because my hours or my time, it started became like, because I have to ensure everyone else is being looked after. I have to sacrifice everything else. So what happened is that now I had to work when the children are in school. When the children became full-time school and they started secondary school, I started putting more hours. For me, going to work, it was kind of like a holiday. I feel good. I love it. It's fun. But what happened is that at the age, my children were 11 and 12, my daughter started going to school more often in a way that I'm talking about like early in the morning, making sure she goes like breakfast club. At the evening, she will go into the school clubs. She will ensure herself, she will make sure she register for all the sports and all these things so she doesn't stay home because I'm not home. And my son, he changed his behavior because he started eating in school without me knowing. I thought he was eating with the food I'm providing. He was actually start selling that meals that I used to give him, and he used to go and buy snacks, and that's what he was eating. I didn't. I kind of lose myself because things were getting harder with my husband, because everything that I want to do is a no. Everything that I want as independent is no. It's not good for me. You shouldn't be doing that. What kind of woman is doing this? You're not a good mother. You're not a good wife. You're not worthy. What do you bring on the table? All of that I hear. So what happened? I'm thinking my children are safe. They're busy and they're okay. So when we argue at night, they are asleep. They won't hear this. So what happened is that the time came and I was started seeing that I'm not scared of him anymore. And he started using that same abuse to my daughter. My son didn't realize when he was laughing while his dad saying those things to his sister, he would be laughing because he didn't realize that he was actually wrong, and he thought he was just joking. What happened is that my own daughter one day came to me and said to me, "Mom, if nothing is changed, I'm going to leave."
For inviting me to be part of Fit for Purpose, Saving Our Future Generations and Kamara Youths. Now, I want to ask, or I want you to think about graduation day. Has anyone raise your hand if you've been to a graduation? Could be your own graduation or graduation of family, friends. And you can remember that day how proud you were of yourself, of that individual, as you stood there, or they stood there waiting to collect their degrees, their diplomas, their certificates, any kind of graduation. And then reflecting on the journey, that journey for yourself or for that individual to be standing there. And it wasn't always an easy journey. There were times it was difficult, times they wanted to give up, times they struggled, times they felt elated when everything fell into place. And you know how hard, not just that person's work, but everybody in that person's life has played some part into getting them to that day of receiving that diploma. When I reflect back on my own journey and my own learning, I remember those days. I've been to many of my own graduations and subsequently the graduations of my children. And I know the effort, the hard work, the struggle, the battle, the input that you give to keep them motivated, to keep them on track, to keep them going. It's a difficult journey, but also the feeling of elation and celebration and relief and being proud that they've achieved a goal that you've helped them to achieve. So, as part of my work, my background is in mental health. I am a mindfulness coach. I teach existential psychotherapy, and I use the tools of solution focused work to work mainly with young people, but also in the mental health setting for people to rebuild their lives, develop their goals, and transform their lives in whatever way they feel that they need to. One of the steps special things I do is also I work with children from socially deprived backgrounds in an educational setting. And we support these children to get into the top public schools in the country on fully funded scholarships. Now, our school is very special because we predominantly focus on teaching soft skills. And those are the skills that we help our children develop and grow so they can take their place and learn. And we had our first set of students graduate a couple of years ago, and I couldn't have been more proud. I was literally, tears were streaming down my face when they came back from their universities, and we saw these individuals standing in front of us, completely transformed. They were confident, they were articulate, they had the most wonderful manners. And we knew that we'd been part of that journey. We'd taken these children who were from broken homes, you know, parents with drug problems, domestic violence, lack of money. Their families had never been through the education system. They were the first people in their generations to have obtained degrees. And to see that transformation and be part of that journey along their lives. And you knew that you were releasing out into the world individuals that had not only transformed their own lives, but were going on to transform the lives of others. And then as I stood there with watching these individuals receive their degrees and their diplomas, you know, I just reaffirmed to myself, this is why I'm here. This is what my life is about. And having been on that personal journey with my own two children, and to then roll that out and be able to be part of giving that back to other children, I felt like a very proud parent.
Lisa did a wonderful job in lining us up because what I am going to speak on today is you are meant to fly. Piggybacking on what you just said, Nikki. I am a mental health therapist that is passionate about mental health. And I like to take everyday basic scenarios to drive the message home. So the one thing that I like to tell my clients, especially the adolescents, is just imagine a cargo plane trying to fly down the runway. It starts off slow and it builds up momentum. But just as it gets ready to take off, it dips down. And the pilot is trying his best to navigate because he understands his destination. But the plane is dipping down because he's got some heavy cargo that he's got. So he's trying to rev up again and try to fly again. He understands the destination, but the plane is still heavy with extra cargo. So the pilot has to make a decision. Do I change my course or do I unpack? What do I do to get to my destination? We as children or as adults or adolescents, we are the pilots that's trying to fly off into our destination. But sometimes we get cargo that is heavy. That could be depression. That can be anxiety. That could be bipolar. That could be molestation. It's all these things that we are carrying with us that keep us from flying high. So what do? We have to learn how to unpack those distorted thinking patterns, that stinking thinking. And once you unpack, then you're able to soar towards your goals and reach all those things that you are trying to reach. You move from stagnation into destination. We are who we are because of the experiences that we have had. It doesn't define us. It only helps shape us. But at the end of the day, we are responsible and accountable for our own choices and direction in life. I'm going to let you know it is okay to your destination. That's why I want to encourage you to reach out to your mentors, reach out to your mental health therapists, reach out to those people who have gone down this road, who can give you advice. You know, the old saying is, if you want to know the road travel, ask someone who's been down that road. So I'm going to just say today, don't be afraid to fly high. Don't be afraid to unpack all that heavy baggage so you can reach the things that you're already destined to do. So with that being said, I don't know who's going to follow after me. I'm waiting for Yanisa to let me know. But what I will tell you is this: fly towards your destiny. Believe in you. Even in the word believe, there's the word lie. Don't believe the lie that others have said about you. Believe in you and reach your goals and your objectives and your dreams. Thank you.
You know, one thing that gives me the greatest pleasure is interacting with individuals like you. Felicia, I will be sending you my number shortly. You know, I am honored and sincerely. I see Sean smiling. Sean, I'm listen.